Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. Or as V would say when she was on Disney Junior, Happy Halloween. Anyway, my Valentine's Day episode reviews got lots of views on it, so I thought I would try to do a Halloween episode review video here for the Halloween season. Now, to start, I'd like to start with our favorite vampire in her Halloween episode called Double Halloween, where we start off with her in costume. Here's the pitch, by the way. We start off with her in costume, and she's ready for her first trick or treating with Poppy, Bridget, and them. And they get this letter saying that there's a some kind of Halloween feast. So the family, she tells the family this, and of course they're split about who wants to go where, either the Halloween thing or either trick or treating, the Halloween thing, the Halloween banquet. I'm sorry. Anyway, and V just wishes she could go to both, which thanks to Demi, she actually figures out she can use a potion to be both places. She went Halloween, she went trick or treating and to the party at the same time. She even sang a song about it. Then the next, in one scene while she was trick or treating and trying to do the Halloween party, she accidentally got mixed up and was still wearing a bunny suit when it was time to do the scare thing, and she scared everyone, and her parents were wondering what was going on, and that she wasn't there, and that they kept saying, "Oh, she's been here all night, or she's been trick or treating with us all night." Boris been saying, and V was letting them know that she's been going back and forth, going treating because she couldn't decide which one she wanted to do best, and I thought it was pretty good episode because they finally got to do both. After the family said they were sorry to make her choose between those two things she likes, Transylvania and Pennsylvania, and they got to do both. And I'm very glad they got to do both. Maybe Bridget and Edgar got to be with them too at the party, and it was a really awesome episode. If I missed some stuff out of this episode, you can let me know in the comments. But I think I covered everything in this episode. I personally enjoyed this one. This is one of my favorite episodes of Vampirina. I actually like them all, except for a few, but don't worry, we'll get to those. Anyway, that's really this is really an awesome show, and I enjoy it. For what it's worth and all. Now, for the next review, I was thinking about actually doing one of the specials that Halloween specials that come on up a show I actually reviewed before here on my channel. Now he has a Halloween special, a Christmas special, a Thanksgiving special, all those things. Who am I talking about, you ask? Well, it's Garfield, yeah. Now, his Halloween special is really good. I really enjoy it. And here's how it goes, my review of it. We start off with Garfield sleeping as usual as the TV talks about its broadcast day, and they start with Binky the Clown. Now, Binky wakes Garfield up with the "Hey kids" thing he does. Sorry, I can't do a very good Binky the Clown. I'm trying my best there. And he talks about how people should do exercise with Binky, and if they don't, they're gonna be fat and lazy like Well, he doesn't say like Garfield, but you get the point. Anyway, and Garfield starts doing some, but then he's like, "What am I doing?" And goes and gets the remote to turn it off. But just as he was, Garfield was talking about doing. I mean, not Garfield, but Binky was talking about how they want to be in shape for all the candy they can get. Yeah, and as Garfield was turning it off, he was like, "Candy? Did you say candy?" And it's the turned it back on and looking for Binky, and he started talking about you want to be in shape for all that candy you can get, and Garfield's like, yes, 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 and then after all that, we start getting the Halloween song to start the special, Garfield's Halloween special. After the song, we see Garfield talking about how he. We actually see Garfield waking up, and he talks about how he couldn't wait until tonight to get all that candy, and he tries to pull himself together and says, "Oh, first you need to get me a bag to hold all that candy, and all." And how he has to wake up, and he goes to sleep and wakes up and goes to see his owner John, who's carving a pumpkin. And by the time he gets to John has the pumpkin on his head because I think Garfield scares him, and he asked if he was wondering why he had the pumpkin on his head, and Garfield's like, "John, you have a pumpkin on your head." I guess that's one of the jokes. And John's like, "Why can't I not stay mad at you?" And Garfield's like, "Cause I'm a lovable kitty cat." And then Garfield gets a handful of pumpkin insides, or pumpkin seeds, whatever they're called, and starts to eat them. And John's like, "Why don't you start liking pumpkin seeds, Garfield?" And Garfield's like, "Since never," as he spits them out. And John gives him his breakfast, and at first Garfield's like, "No, I'm not gonna save my appetite for all that candy I'm getting." And then he comes back and eats it eventually, and then he goes to the next. We go to the next scene, and as Garfield looks at John looks at the camera. Anyway, and then we see Odie come in, and he talks about. He doesn't talk. I'm sorry. He barks. Anyway, he barks, and Garfield, of course, I think this is when he gets him off the table or something, and then he makes some jokes at his friend's now, and stand in a chair to raise his IQ, and he wouldn't need a costume to go trick or treating and all that, and then we hear some drums, and then Garfield gets this idea, and he goes back to Odie and tells him that tonight's the night dogs make sure the cats are safe while getting all that candy and stuff, and asks him if he wants to go because he can get a piece of candy. And of course, Odie agrees as they go to the basement and look for costumes. Another song about what he wants to be, and he comes into different costumes. And then the next scene, we find out that he wants to be a pirate, and we cut back to John. Now, this time at John's like, I they're dressed up for Halloween, and Garfield's like, "Arg, I'm being matey," and well, at first, before that change, when Garfield comes in, John's eating lasagna, and Garfield's like, I kill men for shoving lasagna in his face or something like that, and say you let him live because he feeds him and changes his litter and stuff, and then we get the exchange I was talking about earlier, and then John gives him a trick or treat and says happy enjoy it, and Garfield's like, it'll always be a good time, and they go outside and all, and then we see the outside where he passes a bunch of kids in costume, and of course Odie is scared, but Garfield sings a song about not being a scared cat. And we finally get to the first house where he says trick or treat and only gets one candy, and he threatens the girls saying you better, or whoever it is, and says you better to competition, or I'm gonna give you drapes. What for? And then I hope y'all guys can't see that. Anyway, give me drapes what for, and she gives him more candy, and she says thank you, 1,000 blessings on your home and stuff and all, and they go on and walk, and then Garfield and Odie kept walking, and they see a boat because across there's a lot of homes probably have lights on them, and they get in the boat after Garfield declares that he is, and they go, and they row across stream, or at the mercy of the river, because Odie through the orbs, I think that's what you call them, the little thing to row with, overboard, and they were at the mercy of the river, but they did make it to the other side, and they found this house, and Garfield's like, I know Odie, let's investigate, and all, and they go inside. At first it looks like it's empty, but then an old man appears with the thunder crashing in the background, and he talks about how a ghost is on the way, and how that house is haunted by the parrot ghost and all, and how he used to be part of that, and well, he actually said he didn't want to be here when they get here, so they better leave now. And of course Odie and Garfield don't believe him at first, but then when it turned 12, of course nothing happened at first, but then later on, as they go outside, they see the ghost pirates coming at them, and they try to hide. And of course, the ghost pirates find them, but they eventually escape and jump in the water, because the old man they saw before stole their boat, and then later on they find the boat again with the candy, and they go rolling again, and eventually they're back at home, which Garfield makes a big sacrifice for himself and actually gives Odie his own bag of candy, and then he goes to see what monster movie, what was on TV, and of course Ghost Pirate movie was on, and and then he decided to cut it off and go to sleep with his bag of candy. Now this is a Halloween episode I watch every year myself. I don't know about you guys, but I love watching it every year. Every single year. It's one of my favorites. And I just love watching it myself. I love Garfield and Friends. And all. Now the next one I want to do for y'all guys, since I love you guys so much, doing this for y'all, my loyal fans. Sorry, let me pull it up here. It's a Halloween special by the one and only Fairy Godparents. Now, this show, yes, it ended in a while, and season 10 was never really that good, but I think this was in the earlier seasons, before season 10, because I don't remember Poof and the dog and Chloe being there, so yeah. Anyway, this one is called, it's the Halloween special. The name, I can't remember the name right now, but anyway, the special starts with Timmy watching some Crash Neville on TV, and he tells his fairies he wants to be the bots, the bad guys, the bots, and I'm just like, but those are the bad guys, and Timmy's like, I know, they're so cool. So they try to grant his wish, but of course, once the rich kids have already won in the contest, and they found that out when the rich kids come to the door and trick or treat for candy, and that's of course after Timmy's mom and dad insure their costume, that mom's gone as dad and dad gone as mom, and they give away all Timmy's stuff to the cool rich kids, and of course give advice to AJ and Chester, who don't have costumes. Now this concept is okay. I just don't like that the rich kids are getting everything, and people like Timmy and all them who are not rich aren't getting very much, aren't getting candy like they're supposed to, and all that stuff. It's no fair, really, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm sorry to say that 3 times. Anyway, 4 times. And Timmy was like, you're not gonna get nothing in those lame costumes. And they were like, who you want as? And Timmy was like, I could be the scariest person in the world. Oh, Vicky. And then Vicky shows up, and Timmy's like, my parents are paying you to take me, AJ, and Chester trick-or-treating. And she's like, uh-huh. And Timmy's like, I'm dead, right? She's like, you're not dead, you're undead. And she wraps him in a mommy costume, and Chester's like, more lame, more or less lame, you know? And they start going to houses when Vicky's like, 50% of the candy goes to me, and they start trick-or-treating and get like gold mirrors and our golden tape, and dogs chasing after them and stuff like that. And Timmy, and of course they're giving Vicky all their candy that they get, if they get any, and Timmy's like, he didn't want it like that. He wants it real and scary, and he starts singing about it. And of course the grandparents grant his wish, and whatever they're dressed up as, they become for real this time. And of course the Yugopathanians, try to say that 3 times fast, go see this and think they're arming themselves for war. Or first, they thought they were at some kind of universal meeting, and the king is like, without us, and starts to gloat. And then second time goes, writes an angry letter, and of course Art Chain, seeing all this, sees that his woman Vicky is in trouble, and asks to go save her with some candy suits on them. They go to Earth and find her, and Timmy finds out that they're there, and the Jacobites are all real, because Mark's like you start arming yourself on the Atlantic War and stuff, and Timmy tries to unwish his wish, but of course one day us are not fairies anymore. They're janitor and all, and soon Wanda does become fairy, because she steals after putting the big giant tooth on the pillow, and the tooth fairy comes out, and Wanda takes the wand and the crown and becomes her fairy self, and she grants the wish of Timmy after he says, "I want everything as it's supposed to be, safe and fake." Of course, she grants the wish, and they become real. They become back to normal and all that, and they stop the Jacobites from exploding and destroying the Earth. And Art seems like, "You're not Timmy. You're not an undead Marmot. You're that Timmy guy I keep running into." And Timmy's like, "Yeah, that's the costume, dude." And Mark seems like, "This when it's not arming itself for intergalactic war." And he was like, "Oh yes, it is. I'm Timmy. So Commander, declare war between Earth and Yucca-Planium." And of course, Mark calls his parents and tells them to launch the P-bomb, and they get him back and launch their P-bomb and gets out of there. Wanda's worried, like, "Make another wish," and Timmy's like, "No need. Mutants are idiots. They think good is bad and evil is pretty." So their ultimate weapon is a piñata, which explodes in Earth's atmosphere, and all candy starts raining down on them. And Vicky, on their tongue, is like, "I never want to see another piece of candy again," and then candy falls on her, and then they talk about how it's the best Halloween ever, and then in the next scene they're at the dentist office where they have cavities, so they go there, and it all ends when Constant's like, "You can't spell Halloween with an ow in the middle," and he eats the candy and saying, "Ow." The end. Now this episode is pretty good. I mean, they did get candy like they're supposed to, but I didn't like how the rich people and Timmy parents didn't give them candy, even though they didn't have cool costumes and all that. I kind of think that's unfair and stuff, but then again, this is the cartoon world we're talking about, not the real world and all. But I hope you enjoyed this Halloween episode review as much as I enjoy bringing them to you. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It helps lots of people. It helps get my channels more views and all. And please feel free to leave me a comment, and if you're new here, please subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications so you'll never miss an upload. Bye everyone. Happy Halloween.